Hi, I'm Chris, the Indy Product Manager. In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of the design thinking process and some of the most important points in the process. On the surface, there's really only 3 steps. Seek to understand deeply, iterate, and then materialize. But it's not so simple. We're familiar with this part of it. Each of these can be broken down into another cycle. It's very tempting to get to this build phase as quickly as you can. You want to avoid that because it's very expensive to build something that the marketplace or nobody wants. How do we do this? How do we seek to understand? There's a lot of emphasis on empathizing. I want to talk about this a little bit and break this cycle down. You first have to know who are you looking to understand. When we talk about product cycles, as you know, we have a bit of a bell curve. Early adopters on the left, the mainstream, and then finally the rest of the population. If you're looking at a product that is creating a new market, you don't have any of these users here. So you're left with potential early adopters right here. So the first part is identifying your users. Then we have to observe them. You have to empathize with the users. Now that's a tough one because you really have trouble empathizing with your users if you're not experiencing the same problem that they have. Think about it for a second. Let's say you're a wheelchair manufacturer and you yourself have never had a disability or trouble getting around or having to use a ramp. It's going to be very difficult to empathize with your users. You have to be able to describe the problem. And this is something that a lot of people don't add here, but I'm going to go ahead and put in test. You want to be able to test your understanding. All right, when you only go down to exploring solutions, when you are sure that you understand what the problem is, because you might be solving a different problem. So now that takes us to the explore solutions part of the process. This is often called the ideate process, ideation. Really, it's opening this up to every possible solution. Once you have the problem just fully understood, without judging, invite everybody on your team to come up with a solution to this problem. Get a big board, sticky notes, whatever, and get every single idea out there, no matter how crazy, no matter how wild. Then you want to develop a filter for the ideas. It's generally a good idea to ask yourself, excuse me, is the idea feasible, desirable, and viable? Only ideas that intersect these 3 would make it through the filter. Then you rank the ideas, prototype, and test. You repeat this process over and over. Keep in mind that prototype can be something as simple as a cardboard box or a mock-up using one of the many tools out there. A tool like Figma or InVision would let you prototype. You want to think of as basic and as simple as possible. Iterate this before you move forward into the materialize process, because this right here is the most expensive phase. So now we've gotten to the building phase. This is where we're going to design the product, build it, and guess what? Because only now, when you get to this point, do you know if you really understood what the customer needs? And you want to avoid at all costs reaching this phase and this point right here, only to find out that you really didn't understand the problem in the first place. This is why there are so few startups that succeed. So in conclusion, a lot of products have been created without using this process. Sometimes it's pure luck, sometimes it's pure genius, but your odds are much better off using a process. I hope you got something from this video. Thank you for your time. Have a good day. Bye.